Ladies and gentlemen, what is the role of school itself? Yes, providing education based on children's needs, based on children's performance, based on children's ability, and providing them a proper teaching. But what is happening in our current status quo right now is not every children, not every student in this society have the same ability, have the same needs, have the same performance. They have a different needs, they have a different performance, and they have a different ability. But in reality, the school are generalize the way they give the education, generalize on how they teach those kind of students. The school makes them in one class that makes a clear gap between the smart one and not smart one. But what is actually happen is those children, those students that not smart one is not stupid at all. They have a different way in accepting the subject from the teacher itself, ladies and gentlemen. And we believe that they need the different treatment from the high achieving student itself, ladies and gentlemen. Those kind of pattern we want to erase in our side. We want these children to have a teaching that fit with their ability based on their way to learn, because what we believe here is students have different performance, so we cannot teach the subject on one way and demand them to understand that. Because of that, the student often call themselves as stupid, while they're actually not a stupid person. They just have a different way in accepting the subject itself in the very first beginning, and they will hard to adapt with the high achieving student one, because the difference from the student itself. And before we continue to my argument, let me define the composition itself. Arrange students in classroom based on their intelligence and academic performance means that we will divide them into two classes. The first class is class that contain high achieving students, and the second class is class that contain the low achieving students. The first, for example, we give them a different teaching but still same subject, but they still accept the same subject in both of the class itself. For example, the first class will given more opportunities for self research and group discussion, while the second class, the teacher will uh, will will give a slower pass in teaching and give them more and providing them more repetition and reinforcement in study. And why by placing the student with same ability, we believe that it will increase the effectiveness of the educational resources and the teacher itself. Why? Because the student can easily accept the subject without being worried that they are left behind with the others. Because the different ability in accepting the subject, and the teacher will know on how they will treat both of student based on their ability and not just generalize them. I have one point of argument, that is why it is morally justified for us to arrange those students based on their ability. First, it will not harm the student itself, and second reason, it will lead to a better education in the future. First reason, why it will not harm the student itself. By dividing them into different classes, we give them a chance to reach the education one step ahead. Why? All this time, we let this child do not understand and hard to adapt with the others, because we generalize the way of teaching itself. But by dividing them and give them a teaching based on their needs and performance, we believe that we already help them to face a brighter education than before. Second, it will make them it will not make them labeled as a stupid person. Why? We will give the understanding why they're being separated with the others. Because at the very first beginning they have a different way on accepting the subject from the teacher itself, and because of that we were not dividing them because the one is smart and the one is stupid, because they have a difference in on how they will accept the subject itself, and the subject that given toward both of class is still the same. So that is why it will not label them as the smart one and as the foolish one. And third reason from this is it will not make them stop on their level. Why? Because we will see the monthly changes of the student itself. If they have a development on their progress, they can enter the first class because they are ready for that. And yes, it's back again for the students. They want this level up or not, because what do we believe is when they are ready for this and they want to take this, they can enter the first class, and it will not make them stuck in that level. It will not difference them from the other to get the higher chance on reach the higher education, on reach the higher on higher to reach the higher skills of study or learning itself. And second, it will lead to the better education. We know that our education system right now have a lot imperfect. One of them is on how it deliver the subject itself. Our current education system demand the children to have many independent research and group discussion, while in reality not all of these children ready for this. So that is why we want to change our education system in order to provide more effective education based on the students' need and not generalize them again. Because we believe that the current education system as not fit is not fit with our students right now. So because what I have written to you, that is why it is morally justified, because first it will not harm the student and it will lead to a better education. We believe that this is the best solution we are proud to propose.